All right, how's it going, my beautiful starflies? Today is the 5th of September, so it's day 5. We got 6 days left for the 9/11 week, leading up to the big false flag day. And we talked yesterday about the personal effects and the tolls that it takes just doing the research. I always like to start off with the first 5 minutes, trying to explain to you what happened yesterday and just catching you up. So, after I left you guys, I went back to more research, and the amount of similarities and stuff were, the little caveats you take from it, the little connections that you put together, and of course the big, one of these things just doesn't belong here kind of problems that you face when you get to this shit. So, so yesterday we talked about the mental toll that it has on researchers. And, I don't know if other people go through this. I would imagine so. But ever since I really got in the topic, especially this year, because I did it, against all advice, which was probably good advice for all I know, but I didn't take it. So, fuck it. But what I'll say is that, yeah, I know my bong water's dirty, sorry. But yeah, what I can say is that it makes you sick. It made me sick. And it's funny hearing Rebecca Roth talk about it, because she had the same problem. She said that I was getting, physically ill. And it does. It makes you physically sick when you get to a certain point and you learn a certain thing, and you just kind of you get queasy because, like, we have to remember that these guys were CIA handlers on these planes, and with Harvey Levin pulling out that story about the fifth plane that was found being cleaned out, and this was probably one of the planes that was supposed to be originally used, but they were pulling it off the tarmac, and they were apparently there was a problem, I think, with the plane, and so they had the tow truck towing it out of the way, and they had noticed people storming in, and people reported eyewitness accounts of seeing people going into that plane. And you don't go into that plane unless you're specifically ordered to. And they go in, and they basically go to check and investigate what the hell were people doing in there. And when they came back, they found the latches were open. Now, these hatches, I said latches, these hatches were all open. Now, on an airplane, I know I haven't flown since 1994, so I wouldn't know, but I'm pretty damn sure you don't get on an airplane and just see open hatches. That doesn't happen. And also, one of the biggest questions that we should have asked was, how did anybody get in that cockpit? If you look at the transcripts of any of the conversations being had, there is not one flight attendant that gives out the information on how anybody got into that cockpit. And so one of the callers was a flight attendant named Amy Sweeney. And Amy Sweeney had said that on Flight 11, there was I want to say it was Flight 11, it might have been 93. But I want to say it was Flight 11. And so let's just say it was. The point was that Amy Sweeney had pointed out that the guy in 9B is the hijacker, is the terrorist. Again, singular, only mentioning one person. So she doesn't use any of the protocol, like the special keywords that are being used and stuff like that. So that's how Rebecca Roth first started catching the, one of these things doesn't belong here kind of moments. So upon the research, I get into, of course, you have to get into the Alex Jones Bohemian Grove stuff, because a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, he was respected. Alex Jones was respected, not as much as Bill, but Alex was trying to be the next Bill Cooper. He had a decent face for it. He had a good voice for it. He was out of Texas. He was motivated and rearing and ready to go. And he was off to a decent start. And he was not without his own controversies within the conspiracy community. And so it's weird when you got someone like Bill Cooper that won't vouch for you and doesn't like you. Meanwhile, they both have the same ideals. They basically have the same idea that the Oklahoma City bombing was impossible to have happened the way it did, just like 9/11. The Oklahoma City bombing was using a Ryder truck that was filled with a bunch of fertilizer and explosives. Now, the big problem with this this little excuse here is the way that it blew up the building. The Occom towers had also looked exactly like the Murray building, which was really weird. And let me look through my notes here, and I might be able to find it. But so as I stated, that Miss Sweeney had made that mistaken call. It was on Flight 11. And so she said the guy in 9B is the hijacker. Now, the guy in 9B was the guy in 9B ended up being an Israeli fucking assassin. This dude was a fucking John Wick type that could kill you with a pen and a credit card. And I'm pretty sure you had a pen and a credit card on him. And you're telling me he's going to listen to a couple of, 5-foot terrorists talk about hijacking a plane that he's on? That wouldn't have happened. And then Amy Sweeney calls back and says, "Oh, I made a mistake. It's not 9B. It was 10B." So, okay, so that means he was listening. He could have heard the whole damn thing. He would have stopped it. And again, there's no explanations on the cockpit. So I just want to make sure I finished off with that as I leave you with, as I begin with the next subject of Bill Cooper. So what I'm going to go ahead and open up is I want to show you the Alex Jones, the Bill Cooper opinion on Alex Jones, because it does matter. Bill Cooper was the authoritative. The authority on this kind of stuff, because he was a former intelligence. So the guy gets information that we would never be able to obtain. And so recently I was called an Alex Jones, and I just want to say no, and no. I'm not trying to sensationalize. Before I start this, I'm not trying to sensationalize anything. It doesn't need to be sensationalized. Look at what happened. We don't need it. It's like, again, I like using wrestling references because wrestling has a thing called kayfabe. And kayfabe is, that's right, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to show you my awesome Rick and Morty shirt. It's such a good shirt. I love this shirt. Sorry. So I was trying to get it in the frame. Yeah, I'm not cool with any of the female false imprisonment stuff. But I don't know any of that stuff. I wasn't there. I don't have any research on it. So I'm just saying I don't know about Justin Roiland. I love Rick and Morty. It's his creation, and I love that show. That doesn't mean you have to like the person that made it, So again, the guy that made Alex Jones was Bill Cooper, and Bill Cooper did not like Alex Jones. All right. So again, let's go ahead and let me get.
Apparently somebody called the Alex Jones broadcast and asked him why he didn't have me on the air, or asked him something about me. Alex Jones said he had me on the air once before, several years ago, and had to cut me off the air because of the foul language that I used. So on the air tonight, I'm going to tell you, Alex Jones, you are a bold-faced, miserable, stinking little coward liar. Now let me say that again so there's no mistake about it. You can all tell Alex Jones that I said this, and I suspect he's listening because he does. Alex Jones, you are a bold-faced, stinking, rotten little coward liar.
That is some really strong words to. Those are some strong words from Alex Jones, or I'm sorry, from Bill Cooper. And again, what happened was there was a previous conversation where he had him on the show, and he claims that Bill Cooper had used foul language and was obnoxious. Bill Cooper was known to have a drink every now and then, but was rarely known for his outbursts like that. And from what I gathered, and I got to read the show, I never got to hear it, but I've read it, and I don't understand why he did what he did by lying about Bill Cooper. Bill Cooper did not use any kind of crazy language. And when Bill Cooper died, he paid a lot of respect to him from Alex Jones. So let's go ahead and just keep that.
I was only on the Alex Jones show one time. It was years ago, when I didn't know who he was, when I didn't realize what a liar and a coward and a sensationalist bullshit artist that he is. He was on one little FM station down in Texas. He wasn't on all the stuff that he's on now. And I agreed to be on his broadcast. That's when I was doing guest appearances on broadcasts, years ago. I was not cut off. I did not use any kind of foul language whatsoever. He treated me very well, and I stayed on for the whole show. Some of you in Texas know that that's true because you heard the broadcast and you taped it. Later, when I found out who Alex Jones was and what he was doing to the truth, and what a cowardly liar and sensationalist he really is, every time he called me after that, I have always refused to appear on his broadcast.
Now, everything that Bill Cooper just said is entirely true. And again, there were receipts for this, and you can check out that he was given phone calls and he did not want to do it. Now, it's harder to get the information on this because there wasn't that much emailing and shit like that to look up. But information is always out there. You can always find it. Now, I always wondered if Alex Jones was hurt by this because, of course, Bill Cooper was a influencer of his. Now, Bill Cooper learned from guys like Ted Gunderson, and Ted Gunderson was another guy that was, a staunch Kennedy supporter, anti a lot of shit, and another kind of kooky conspiracy buff to the elite and the established order. But I mean, even when you look at Alex Jones, Bill Cooper, I mean, at least they use their real names. When you got like people like Rebecca Roth who uses a pen name, it's really crazy that they try to go and identify her, and instead they go and put out somebody else's entire information and they slap it on. This was done by Jim Fritzer, who tried to call Rebecca Roth a liar, and he was also a big Alex Jones supporter and was in the big lawsuit against the Sandy Hook trial because they do this shit, and that's not journalism, that's sensationalism. And so it was like Alex Jones almost had our respect because he blew the door open for the Bohemian Grove. We got to actually see, a little bit of the ritual. This had never been done before. This was fucking groundbreaking at that time. So I think that's why Bill Cooper had such a respect for Alex Jones, because he managed to do the impossible. He did one thing that we all have to be grateful for, and at least us in the truth movement, real truth movement. The truth movement in itself is being hijacked by so many false truthers that are actually just trolls fucking with everybody. And you could definitely tell that when you hear about the amount of harassment that some of these writers get from so-called truthers. And it's like, first of all, as a truther, I don't attack anybody. Unless your name is Shyam Sunder, I don't have a real problem with you. Unless your name is like Rumsfeld or Rothschild. So I don't want to discredit anybody's shit until I've seen it and I can debunk it myself, or see that somebody else has. But again, this had to have hurt Alex Jones to get called out by Bill Cooper, but this is the type of guy Alex Jones simply is. He was on a right track. He had a good fucking thing going for a very short amount of time. He even went out to we can show you that stuff. He even went up to David what's his name? David Gergen, and he's gonna bum rush him and let him know that, hey, I'm the guy that fucking told everyone about your little cult and showed it. And again, remember, he only showed us about, an hour of the actual ceremony, and it was only 1 4-hour night of a 2-week ceremony. So, like Alex Jones said, this is only a touch of it, we couldn't get in the rest of the time. So I had a viewer that said Alex Jones is and always has been full of shit. And I wanted to say, no, there was a time where we did respect him. He did not hold that respect very long. And a lot of people distanced themselves from him. I know I did. And even when he flipped out about the gay frog thing, he actually had a decent point. But he's such a sensationalist that he filled you with so much bullshit and a pinch of truth. And I was like, dude, you're not really freaking out like that. Nobody freaks out like that. I mean, shit. I'm angry 9 times out of 10 when I do this show. I'm angry about what I just read. But I'm not going to fucking scream about it because, A, I take care of my mom. She's in there. And 2, I just don't see how that's going to do anything but make other people laugh at us and not take it seriously. So it has to be done with a certain level of professionalism, and I guess the word panache could be used in that phrase. But let's just say just honest journalism takes that. Now let's go ahead and show you the bum rush I'm talking about. Now this again is when we respected the guy because he did shit like this, and this is groundbreakingly fucking interesting because this guy gets really pissed off. So let's go ahead and check that out and put it up. All right, let me get out of the way and let Alex go ahead and fuck this guy right now.
I read a Washington Times article many years ago where you had a comment about the organization, and then now it's been in the Wall Street Journal, it's been in a lot of different newspapers, and that's the Bohemian Grove. And back in, what was it, 1996, when you joined as a Clinton advisor, the Republicans were criticizing you. Oh, what about Bohemian Grove? And then you countered them by saying, "Hey, I don't run around in the woods naked." What did that mean? Here is the before-mentioned Washington Times article where he said, "I didn't run around naked like they do."
I don't know what quote you're referring to. I'm not aware of any quote like that. Listen, I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks who come there, and it's really inappropriate for me to talk about the group beyond that. Thank you.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Great owl of Bohemia, we thank thee for thy adjuration.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Really?
That's right.
Well, I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000. I'm the guy that blew it wide open and got the video. It's been on national TV.
Well, I disrespect you for that.
You do?
I do.
But it's a lot of big public officials going in there. Don't we deserve to know?
I don't know anything about you, and I don't know anything about your film. But if you go in there with an understanding, you violate that understanding by releasing that film, and I don't respect you for that.
Really? But we have public officials
I'm sorry, you took an understanding when you went in there that you would not do that film. And did you have an understanding when you went in there?
No.
Did you crash it?
Yes.
Yeah, and it has no trespassing signs there too, doesn't it?
No, they put them up after.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just walked in.
I'm sorry, sir. I've been there before. I know what the circumstances are, and I'm sorry you violated the understandings. That was not a gentlemanly thing to do.
But what about the ritual? Is the ritual gentlemanly?
Sir, everything I don't owe you this comment.
I know, I appreciate it.
This is what's called ambush journalism, and I disrespect you for that as well. So thank you and goodbye.
Have you ever been in the ritual?
That's none of your damn business.
Oh,
that's right. Listen. You go around and make understandings with people and violate them. You ambush people on the streets, and that's inappropriate form of journalism. If you wish to practice that, that's fine, but don't ask others to respect you for it. If you want to, you can do. You're a free American, like anything you want. If you want to be uncivil and rude and ungentlemanly, that's up to you. But don't expect the rest of us to say, "Oh well, you're
there, Mr. Gergen."
I'm sorry, nobody sets policy in there. We try to be gentlemen, and obviously, you don't belong there.
Weaving spiders come out here.
Now, that was awesome. And again, those were one of those moments where we can't help but applaud him for all those efforts and for what he did. That was amazing. That's right. So there was a small amount of time where Alex Jones was making sense, and he was on the right path. And again, he had that side to him that really hurt the movement after a while, because when September 11th happened, of course, this is all about 9/11 week. When 9/11 occurred, and we heard Bill Cooper already letting us know this is happening in advance. He told us during June, and he was dead by November. It's not a fucking coinky dink. And again, Bill Cooper was fucking executed. And I think that's why Alex Jones wasn't, because of the fact that he still played ball where Bill wouldn't. And then Alex did what so many people have done, and so many people fucking regret after doing so, because they realize, oh shit, I trusted a total fucking snake. And and for once, the snake was not Alex Jones, it was Trump who ended up snaking him, because like an idiot, these people think that they're going to get some sort of I don't know, some sort of actual protection from the man, and why would he care about you? That's where they really fucked up and could not get that Trump is not on the side of the government, but he ain't on your side either, okay? He's on Trump's side, and he's always been on Trump's side, all right? If this was Wayne's World, I'd say, Benjamin is nobody's friend. Yeah, right. Seriously, Trump is nobody's friend. If he were ice cream, he'd be pralines and dick. So, so that was the argument with them. And it showed us who Alex Jones was, so it kind of prepared me to take a grain of salt with everything he was saying. And so we showed you the Bohemian Grove video before, and what he did was absolutely amazing. I really wish he stuck on the right side. The Barry Jennings interview that was done by Dylan Avery, a lot of support through Alex Jones and InfoWars, and a lot of support for the 9/11 community. And I think that was also where Trump tricked some people like Alex Jones, where he said, he wanted to get to the bottom of it. And right off the bat, I'm like, dude, he's so full of shit. And that was again, this is a guy that says he wants to drain the swamp and then fills the swamp with the very alligators that were in the swamp before. Who's the swamp to you, dumbass? He's hiring career politicians. So, again, they're not these vigilantes. They're not these fucking anti-heroes. They're just in it to win it, bro. That's it. And then they go too far, and they think they have his back. They think that, somebody's got their back. No. In a situation like that, everybody's in it for themselves. So, again, the very fucking person I was talking about earlier, never mind about that. But honestly, it shows you the massive amount of not disinformation, but massaging of the truth. It's sensationalism that doesn't need to exist in a situation where we lose 3,000 people in one whack, which we should have lost around 10,000. Had those planes actually been in the air and at full capacity, we would have had 800 people lost just in the planes alone. I mean, that's a fact. Four planes, 200 people, that's 2 times 4 is 800 people. So, it's pretty fucking disgusting. But we're going to keep going, and tomorrow we'll probably have some more Rebecca Roth for you and get into guys like David Chandler, who helped us understand free fall and forced NIST. He's the high school teacher that forced NIST to not only admit free fall, but put it in their fucking report as well, because they just kept on trying to put in as much bullshit as they could, and a high school physics teacher just knocks them out of the park. So see you tomorrow on this shit, and if there's anything you want me to cover, let me know about it. All right. See you guys. Be safe. Be yourselves. Stay free. All right. And I'll see you on the other side. Most of all, stay cheesy, my friends.